welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to Stone Creek gun battery, which is situated just outside the city of Hull, on the banks of the River Humber. I've arranged site access with the landowner, so this is a permission visit. I've invited a few people along, so it'd be good to see some friends and meet some new people. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll show you some drone footage of the site while I'm driving there, and I shall see you all when I get to the site. So here I am. I've just arrived at the gun battery. I've got 5 or 6 other people here today. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around. So we go to the left, we've got Mike, which is History Bum on YouTube. To the right we've got Mark. Camo on the left just near the building there, that's another Mike. MKMD, Paranormal, Exploration and Paranormal, I always get confused with that. He's got his friend Arnie in the DPM camouflage, and also Mike's son Max. So apparently this is the most preserved gun battery in the East Riding, and I think this is the building which was the cookhouse or the mess hall, and then they've just got an entranceway. There would have been a Nissan hut structure here. All you've got is the framework left for it. The sheeting's gone. That one's some sort of store or something like that. Got a concrete plinth there just near the bins, which would have been the guard room. So here we have the original entrance into the cookhouse and the mess hall. You've got an original lampshade there.
Holy shit.
And you've got another one over there. As you can see, the framework for the Nissan hut. So I believe that one was probably the cookhouse, and this one was the mess hut. So yeah, this is part of the domestic site, just before you go onto the actual gun battery there. Well, it's all in the same field, but separated by a little bit. Still pretty close to the gun site, if you ask me. Go in there in a second. So the site was first recorded as operational on the 19th of September in 1939, so very shortly after the outbreak of the Second World War. And originally it had 2 vintage World War I guns, and then later replaced by the 4.5 inch and the 3.7 inch later on in the war. Did you know, Mike, that this was the only gun battery in the UK to have a permanent ice cream stall and swim? I'm trying to wind you up.
Can I say no way?
You would have believed me as well. You would.
Probably would, yeah. I was like, ice cream? How many people would have been based here? Because I'm looking at the size of the mess, it looks really small.
Well, we went to Butt Farm, didn't we, before?
Yeah.
This is like the same type of size with 4 gun emplacements. And what was it, 300 was it for there, was it?
Possibly. I just thought. Possibly there were rotated shifts to accommodate the full
Yeah, probably.
staff.
Yeah, maybe at just different times, different slots.
Yeah.
I would say 200-300, maybe just like Butt Farm. I couldn't really tell you. I was thinking that the same when I was driving. I was thinking, I wonder how many personnel were on here. It was a mixed sex battery, just like Butt Farm, with the ATS women. They would have operated the radar and the communications equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah. Got some attention from the bulls.
Yeah, they want a good stroking. It's when you all get together you got to worry.
Yeah, true.
They all gang up, they're all nice at first, just checking you out and then think, yeah, let's jump him.
Kill him.
Some original window panes, original frame. So yeah, this would have been the cookhouse. It's got a newer roof on it. Obviously used for cattle. This looks like a toilet block, possibly. Little storeroom there, and then toilets. Who knows? Yeah, as I said, as the video started, I arranged site access here. So if you know where this place is and you want to have a look, please don't come and just jump over the fence, because the landowner is a very nice guy, and if you ask him if you can have a look on, then he'll know who you are, and there shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I'll just show you in this one. This looks like some sort of generator room with the thing like that. You've got an ammunition box there. God knows if that's World War II or not. Just look it. Painted in like a blue, like an RAF blue. So maybe that's been brought here later on because it's got bits of bolts in it and stuff like that. A lot of people use old ammunition boxes, toolboxes, and for little bits and bobs. That telephone mast is original. What are you doing? You having a standoff? You having a standoff? Answer back.
No, what do what? I don't think I'll walk into a counter.
Getting ready to charge us, look.
Right, flank them.
Are we going to go down then?
Yeah. Take a wide berth of them. Alright.
Hello. Don't want a good stroke in? No?
And you. Go well with mustard.
It said that they've put this bitumen down on the roads to camouflage it more from the air.
Alright.
That's what it says on the listing with Historic England.
As you can see, that's the gun placement there on this round circular thing. So the gun could have slewed round. These would have been installed, I'm assuming.
So here we have the mounting points for the 3.7 inch anti-aircraft guns.
I'm not sure if these holes in the wall have been deliberately done, or if
You've got 5 ammunition lockers.
you know these holes in the wall, are these recent, like recently been done?
And I believe that each ammunition locker would have had the shells set to different times on the fuse, so they could go off at different heights, so it was easier just to go to, say, locker number 1 and pull it out for, I don't know, 5,000 feet, and then 6,000 feet for another one, and so on, if you get what I mean. But yeah, made out of breeze block. And these emplacements were built in 1942, I believe. As I said earlier on, the first documented operational use of this site was in 1939, and then later on it went to 2 4.5 inch anti-aircraft guns, and then 1942 these new emplacements were constructed. So let's go see this damaged one, see what's happened here. I know after the war, certain places oil engineers went round and blew places up. So I don't know if this is what's happened here. But then I suppose they wouldn't just destroy half of one and then leave the rest. They take the whole lot down. So the gun battery was a mixed sex battery, so women from the ATS would have manned the radar and communications systems. So yeah, 1942, the 4 new emplacements were built, the magazine there at the back, and it was also supported by a GL Mark II radar system, which is basically like a trailer with a shed on top of it. And that would have been manned by the ATS women. You've got a substantial blast wall there for the magazine, and I believe that's a 5 bay one, but we'll get over there in a few minutes. In here you can see the original doors on the ammunition lockers. It's good to see them still there. I mean, each one seems to have one missing, apart from that one, it's got none. Probably been taken for scrap at some point. And I'll show you this nice little feature actually while I'm here. So all around the top of this emplacement, you've got these. These would have turned and they came up. Camouflage net supports. You've also got those which would have helped it. But yeah, all the way around the top. I think that's quite rare to see, to be honest. As you can see there, it's like a key and you could turn it and tighten it up. You'd have obviously posts or something in there which would have gone higher or lower. And then you could have put camouflage net over it and tried blended it in more to try and disguise it from the German Luftwaffe. And speaking of the German Luftwaffe, in September, I believe it was September 1942, the gun site was credited with taking down a German aircraft, which was quite rare, to be fair. Not many gun batteries managed to down an enemy aircraft. Although it was their aim to take enemy aircraft down, they knew that it wasn't going to be really possible, so the main objective was just to be able to make the bombers turn and dive and move around through the gunfire of the heavy anti-aircraft battery, because the aircraft would be on like a track where they'd come down to a certain altitude, lining up for a bombing run, and then that's why you'd have these gun batteries set up at designated areas, and then these would be firing up, and then the German aircraft couldn't stick with their bombing line, so they'd have to move, and then hopefully it put them off their targets, which the target for this one, well, this is put here to defend Hull, which is just a few miles down the estuary there, and the Humber's just on the other side of those trees. That's the substation now, which we'll get over to shortly. So yeah, here we are again. You can see these net supports in better detail from up here. Yeah, I'm going to come over in a minute. Got Mike chatting up there, one of the farmers there. So this is the command post. Overgrown, but in fantastic condition, to be fair. And there was a little poem wrote in one of these rooms somewhere when I came years ago. Can't remember which one it was in now. Try and find it. Would have been a hatch on here. Would have been a door that swung outwards and then a hatch that lifted up. Got one of the original air vents there. That one's got a door on it with no door handle, so I don't know what's in there. What I'll do is I'll put up on the screen what that poem said. It's only a short one, but I thought it was pretty cool. It was wrote in pencil on the wall. Rain or snow, wind or blow, you'll always find me fighting. That's for the height finder, I think, or the predictor. Can't remember which way around it was. So yeah, one piece of equipment was there, either height finder or the predictor, and the other was at the other side over there. This looks like a mounting post for a light machine gun, small arms, anti-aircraft type of defence at the command post, possibly. Don't know what else that could be for. Certainly looks like you've got enough room to move around.
She's not going to York anymore, she's going home, we'll have to get the next coming.
So around the outside of the command post, I just quickly went in there as the farmer's about to turn the electric fence on, stop the cattle from going in. He's been having problems with it, so he's just come over to fix it. So I quickly went in there before he's going to turn that on. Now I think this is the largest of the command post, this room here. So that was probably the plotting room where they could plot the German Luftwaffe. And you've got the original air vents there. Well, that's an air vent, and that could possibly be for a stove, so they can keep warm. So apparently that was demolished when they were building the dike just there. So I've just been told. Enjoying it, Max? Here's Max, isn't it? Not Declan. Max. I always get confused. There's a better view of the door on the ammunition locker. As you can see, it was originally folded in half, so it doesn't take up too much room. Fantastic to see them. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button and subscribe, please. Helps me out a lot. Helps the algorithm on YouTube to promote my videos a bit more. So each one of the gun emplacements would have had one of these little rooms off to the side, which were the relaxed duty shelters, where the crew would go when they're not on alert, and they could just relax, have a brew and things like that. Not very big, but you don't need it to be very big really, especially in winter. You want it as small as you can really, keep the heat in here. Drainage down the side there. Then you've got hooks, or there would have been hooks up here possibly, for coats or for helmets, for their equipment.
You identify the plane, isn't it?
Don't fucking ask me that.
I think that's a DC-3 Dakota.
Yeah.
B-17.
Yeah.
That's a Sunderland because it's a seaplane. Because you've got the flotation things there.
That looks like a Wellington.
Yeah, I'd say Wellington.
To be honest,
I'm not too sure about that one.
I'm not. But I'm assuming that these would have been the planes that would have flown over this sort of area. The Sunderland there, that would have been down south, because I used to be based right where they launched from, the Sunderland.
Yeah.
On the river Solent. But yeah, that's definitely B-17. Definitely.
Yeah.
Where the tail goes,
Yeah.
the turret,
Yeah.
the bowl turret. Yeah. But this one is puzzling me.
I wonder if that's another float plane.
Possibly.
It looks like the sort of build, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks very similar to the Sunderland.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not quite sure that one. It's got a big bulky fuselage.
I wonder if it's one of the very rare ones that was put like from the pre-war.
Yeah.
Something that's
Nick-looking concentration.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what it is,
Mm.
and I can't think. But yeah, British and American, aren't they?
Yeah.
Obviously aircraft recognition, so they don't shoot their own down.
I used to be really good with aircraft recognition.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot of airfields in Yorkshire and over in Lincolnshire, so
Yeah, definitely.
it's vital to have this on here to make sure they can identify between German and British and American.
Yeah,
Don't want to be shooting their own down, do they?
that's it.
But yeah, it's very small in here, isn't it? Whereas at Buck Farm you could stand up, I think, in this shelter.
Yeah, well, I can just.
I mean,
Yeah, I can't. No chance. You're alright, aren't you, Max?
like a hand.
I like the paintings of the original coat hangers, the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot smaller as well. Is that shelter?
Is it in there really?
Yeah. So yeah, as you come out of the emplacement here, you've got a concrete track, which it's not very wide, but it's perfect size for the ammunition trolley. Obviously leading straight from the magazine. Yeah, I've not seen that before. So that's good to see. Yeah, look at this. Huge blast wall protecting the whole thing. There could have possibly been earth against the side of here as well, unless this site just didn't bother. I mean, you can see a little bit there on that emplacement, but there's not much. So this would have supplied all the emplacements here. And I believe the main ammunition store for the gun batteries around here was Fort Paul, which is just a few miles down the road. They had them stored there in the tunnels, all the shells, and then they come and supply all the gun sites. You can see you've got the original window frame there with some of the glass. Yep, so it's the 5-bay type. And you can see just there, slightly different colour. There would have been marked, there'd have been some markings on there. Maybe set to different fuses. Because if you think about it, the emplacements had 5 ammunition lockers. And this is a 5-bay main ammunition place, so they could have all been set to different timers, so they could just run across and say I want 10 shells at 5-second delay fuses, or 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it was, so they know exactly where they are and they can just grab them straight out, and it saves having to set them when they get to the emplacement. Then come straight over, get what they need, and it's sorted. So I would think that there'd have been between 200 and 300 personnel on this site at its height during the war. And for that many people, there'd have been a lot of accommodation, and they would have needed a lot of power, which is why the substation is built on site as well, which I'll go over to now.
Oh, is it?
I think that might have been like a QM store. You know, like
This was a substation, Mike. This was a substation.
it was a substation.
Well, the thing is, there was this area of East Yorkshire never had no power. No, there was no hookups at National Grid until 1950s.
Oh right, okay.
So they needed their own power source. So that's why this was built.
I like the fact they've still got the doors.
Yeah, you can see where the latch went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full of shit, isn't it? But there's an interesting switch over there.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like different sort of ones I've seen.
I mean, even the windows are still intact,
Yeah.
which I'm really surprised about. It still works.
Oh yeah, I know, it's
Not fucking get that.
decent bit of kit. My torch is a bit bright for this close-up stuff really.
Yeah.
I need like a flood rather than a spot.
So the switch actually works.
Got a nice click to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. If you're fetish like that.
Oh, definitely.
That's it, focus. Right, yeah, we've got the original windows. That's crazy, that.
Still works like the day that it was installed. It's like it's a special kind of switch though, like, I don't know, blast proof or for anti-static or something like that. It's a sealed unit. Didn't have some heavy duty doors on this building? Or,
Could have been for storage or something.
I mean, it says C70 there on the wall,
Yeah.
and then 60 over on the left. There's a bit of writing there. Buffet oil or something it says.
I thought it said buffle.
I don't know.
There's
Is
a
that fence turned on,
there's a
Max?
lamp that was at the top.
Is that fence turned on? Yeah, you got to touch your skin on it to see. Innit? Put your tongue on it then. Yeah, there's something there, I can't really make out.
Even an electric.
Buffer oil. So, just a quick side note. After a little bit of research and speaking to my friends over at Eden Camp, it turns out that the markings on the walls are actually different lubricants and fluids for the 3.7-inch anti-aircraft guns. So this would have been a storeroom for those. And yeah, I get a little bit geeky when I find writing stuff on the wall and have to find out what it is. It's got M60 or M something 60, C70. There's an M something there. Here you've got one of those nice switches again. It's got dead spiders or something like that, so I ain't touching that. No, thank you.
There's an old lamp thing.
Yeah, there is. Where the light was, isn't it? Just to end this video, in November of 1944 the personnel and the equipment was all moved, and they moved it down to Ringborough gun battery, which, well, that's sadly all gone over the cliffs now. If you're familiar with the area, you'll know that it was all there at one point, and up until very recently, to be fair, and then it's all gone over the cliff now. So that's where all the equipment and the personnel went from this site in 44 to go support the Operation Diver, which was to counter against the V1 rockets, flying bombs. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.